everyone, welcome again to one of my videos. Today I want to talk about Cinderella. Those days I'm feeling pretty tired after working and I want something to relax, something easy, something beautiful and nice it can inspire me. So I was watching Cinderella, the movie, and I got so inspired to make this video because many of you things that I noticed during the movie can really be compared to real life as a metaphor probably. Who is Cinderella, or Ella? Is like a nice girl from a nice family, always grow up surrounded by love, so she already has a pretty lucky life. But her mom died when she was very young, so she had a tough life because she grew up just with the dad. So the dad was nice to her, he remarried with the stepmother, and she had the two daughters who were horrible to her, and once he passed away, she was basically the servant of the house. So like everyone in life, she's just a normal girl, grew up in a nice family, a normal family. At some point some tragedy happened, which can happen to all of us, and she went through pretty hard time for many years. All of a sudden, when she wanted to give up, she met this prince in the middle of the forest or wherever she was, and it was love at first sight, I believe, and she went back home because she knew her place was there, and she wanted to stay home, not because she has to, but because she was feeling it was her home. She had the chance to run away, to escape, but she still felt inside her heart that the right things to do was to stay there. So she kept believing, was still living in the house even if they were treated her horribly. At some point, the prince wanted to throw a ball where he could meet all the girls in town because he wanted to meet again Cinderella. The stepmother didn't allow her to go to the party, so to the ball, the ball. So yes, she didn't go. All these horrible and terrible events that happened to her life actually were necessary for her to go through and meet the fairy godmother and go to the ball with a nice dress and everything sorted. Obviously, we don't have like fairy godmother that appears all of a sudden like this, but we do have guidance. I do believe a lot in angels, and I do believe that every time I call them around me, they always answer, they always give me an answer. But if you don't believe in that, you can just believe in yourself, that the little voice that you have inside your head all the time is your true self and knows what's best for you. She followed the guidance of the fairy godmother. The fairy godmother did some magic, and she transformed as well the little animals, so the mouses in horses, the lizard in footman, and so on. So Cinderella is able to go to the ball. She met the prince, she danced with the prince fell in love. He knew he wanted to marry her because she was kind, she was great. Didn't matter where she was coming from, didn't matter if she didn't have any money, didn't matter if she was just a servant or whatever. And this doesn't matter. I think this too can be a metaphor of life. It doesn't matter where you come from, you can always build your future. At the end, she did marry the prince. There were a few sentences during the movie that really made me think, and I'm gonna tell you which one are those. So when she met the prince, they were hunting and they were gonna kill the animal. Cinderella was really an empath with the animal, so she didn't want it. And the prince said, "This is what we do, this is done." And she said, "Just because it's done, it doesn't mean that it should be done." And that's true. This means that even if it's somebody else tell you to do something, or those are the rules that you always follow through your life, it doesn't mean that you have to keep following it if they don't resonate with you. So she kind of opened his eyes. He didn't answer the deer or whatever it was hunting. And this is so true. It really resonates with me, and I think it is something we should think about it. Another thing that they said, the stepmother said to Cinderella, because she didn't want her to the ball, she said, "You are a servant, remember what you are and what you will always be." Well, guess what? She got married to a prince, and the stepmother, bye-bye to the stepmother, really. So never let anybody tell you what you can or you cannot do it, because you can achieve your things. We are not living on a fairy tale, but we can decide of our future. Like, even in fairy tale, if we think about it, there happen horrible things and happen good things. Come on, she lost her dad, she lost her mom, she's been treated like a servant. It's pretty horrible, and it could happen in real life too. Anyway, another sentence that really touched me, it was when she was going into the palace ready with a beautiful dress. She said, "I'm just a normal girl, not a princess." And the footman that took her to the stairs, he said, "And I'm just a lizard, I'm not a footman." And in that moment, he was a footman. Like, this is really the proof that anything can happen translating in real life. And I know, again, I know this is a fairy tale, but it really can be adapted to real life, because there are so many people that they don't have anything and they manage to become what they want to become. Thinking about some football player that they're born in a very poor family, in a very terrible situation, and then they are millionaires because they do what they love to do. Or think about, I don't know, even Tony Robbins. He grew up in a family when the mom was drinking and he was very poor, and now he is a multi-billionaire. So it's amazing how you can really transform your life if you don't give up and believe it. It's not because you have difficulties you should give up. So to recap, Cinderella is like a lovely lady that through her life had very difficult situation, deal with terrible situation, the loss of a mom, the loss of her dad, treating like a servant, not having any friends but just animal because she couldn't meet anybody else outside. And at the end of the day, she really had more than what she was wishing for. She knew that her life was gonna change, and she wasn't really pushing it. She wasn't forcing it, she wasn't crying on it, she was just doing the best that she could, believing that one day her life would be better. She would never expect to marry to a prince. So, and at the end her life got better for really the best that she could get. So I really wanted to consider this as a lesson like it was for me, even if it's a fairy tale. Again, don't think I'm silly to talk to you about that, but many of the fairy tale have some truth. And we always, when we grow up, used to think, oh, it's just a fairy tale, it happened just there, so many beautiful things happening there, but we really don't see that terrible things happen too during fairy tale. There are terrible character, terrible things, and we should think of us like the main character of our own movie, which is our life. And in the end, you can decide if you're gonna have an happy ending or not. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching. Please press the like button, subscribe, and let me know if you have any question or any comment. I'll be happy to respond, and see you at the next video.